Here is the news at 4. First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu inaugurates new road project in Etiosa local government area. Federal government to create state task team for land audit and rent collection. On the foreign, Liberian president suspends hundreds of officials over asset declaration failure. In sports, the Tigers to depart Nigeria on Sunday ahead Afro basket qualifiers in Libya. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. In a bid to reinforce his administration's commitment to creating a well-structured and highly accessible road network in Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has handed over 3 new road projects to residents of the state in Etiosa local government area. The roads are Chief Yusufu Abiodun Oniru Akiogun Road, alternative route to Admiralty Circle Plaza in Lekki, and Abudu Smith Street. Speaking at the inauguration, Governor Sanwo-Olu noted that the road projects will improve vehicular movement and traffic flow, with its attendant positive impact on businesses and living in the area. Governor Sanwo-Olu urged residents to take collective responsibility to protect the project against vandalism, promising that work will commence on the Green Line Rail project this year.
We're building middle-level markets. By the grace of God, the middle-level market we're building in Etiosa just before by Shongotedo will also be completed within the month of April or May. We'll hand it over to you. We're doing another one in Agege. We're doing another one in Festac. We're doing another one in Oregun. Concurrently, we're building all of them in different places so that we can see even development in and around the entire city-state of Lagos. That is what we're about. That is what we're doing. I want to thank you. I want to thank you as our citizens. You continue to keep the tolerance of peace and security safety in our state.
On his part, Special Advisor to the Governor on Infrastructure, Olufemi Daramola, said the rehabilitation of Chief Yusufu Abiodun Oniru Akiogu Road is an alternative route to Admiralty Circle Toll Plaza, Lekki, which will significantly decongest traffic at the plaza, ensuring smoother and more efficient movement for commuters and align with the ongoing regeneration effort in Victoria Island.
This route will also serve as a bypass to the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road when completed, making it an integral part of the state's long-term transportation strategy. The scope of work carried out on this project is extensive and designed to guarantee durability, efficiency, and safety. The key components include comprehensive site clearance, scarification and removal of the existing pavement surface, relocation of utilities, construction of reinforced concrete drains with cover to serve as pedestrian walkway.
Our correspondent Adiola Akindele reports that the roads would improve connectivity, traffic flow, reduce travel time, eliminate perennial flooding issues, enhance intermodal transportation, and improve the socio-economic well-being of the people. The event was attended by the Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamzat, members of the State Executive Council, lawmakers, body of permanent secretaries, traditional and religious leaders, party faithful, among others. The Lagos State government has commended the latest batch of Jerusalem pilgrims for their good conduct and encouraged them to serve as ambassadors for the state and country. Special Advisor to the Governor on Religious Matters, Adebokola Adeleke, made the recognition during the Jerusalem Pilgrim JP ceremony. Adeleke praised the pilgrims for their exemplary behavior and urged them to share their positive experiences with others, promoting the state pilgrimage services. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs, Adeomi Gbalahan, and other dignitaries, including the representative of the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrim Commission, Olali Oshin, echoed similar sentiment, encouraging the pilgrims to be good ambassadors for Lagos, Nigeria, and Christ. Also, the board secretary, Lagos State Christian Pilgrims Welfare Board, Florence Bafe, admonished the pilgrims who were conferred with the title of Jerusalem Pilgrims to express their joy and appreciation to the government by sharing their experiences with others, promoting the state's pilgrimage services, and spreading the message of God's goodness. The federal government has revealed plans to set up a special security team to protect its power installations and infrastructure. Minister of Interior Olubomi Tunjojo, who stated this, said the decision was reached with the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, to have the power rangers. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, will be responsible for stopping the vandalism of power infrastructure, which has caused blackouts across the country. The minister said it was critical to find a unique solution and growing reports of vandals damaging power installations and outcry over frequent blackouts, sometimes caused by vandalism. He said the decision to set up the power rangers was influenced by the successes of the mines marshals unveiled by the federal government in March 2024 to tackle security challenges in the mining sector. Now to the rest of the stories. The Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development has announced the establishment of a task team in every state to audit the ministry's properties and lands, as well as oversee the collection of ground rent on these assets. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Taiwo Baruwa, made this known in a statement following an interactive session with federal controllers of housing from 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. According to Baruwa, the task team will comprise the federal controller in each state, representatives from the state government and the Federal Housing Authority, with the Surveyor General of the Federation serving as chairman. He emphasized that the initiative aims to enhance oversight and ensure efficiency in managing the ministry's assets. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Kudirat Kekereekun, has approved the appointment of Kabiru Akombi as the acting Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court of Nigeria effective February 13. Deputy Director of Information and Public Relations of the Supreme Court, Hamid Umar, said this in a statement issued in Abuja. Akombi's appointment follows the retirement of Hajo Sarki Bello, who attained the mandatory retirement age of 60 years in public service. Prior to his appointment, Akombi served as the Deputy Chief Registrar in charge of Election Petition Tribunal Unit at the Court of Appeal Headquarters, Abuja. Akombi has over 20 years of experience in judicial administration, legal reforms, and public service. In foreign news, Liberian President Joseph Boakai has suspended more than 450 top government officials, including ministers, for failing to declare their asset to the anti-corruption agency. According to the presidency, they will be off work without pay for a month or until they submit the required declarations. Boakai says the officials had contravened the code of conduct for state officials by not being transparent about what they own. The president, who had pledged to fight corruption when he came into office last year, says failure to comply undermined efforts to combat corruption and ensure accountability. Among those suspended are the ministers for education and health, special envoys for tourism and investment, officials working for executive mansion, the official residence of the president, and the country administrative officials. In sport now, Nigeria, the Tigers will leave for Libya on Sunday for the final phase preparations of the Afro-Basket qualifiers slated to hold in Tripoli, Libya. The home-based players, who have been sweating it out for the past few days, are expected to travel to Libya on Sunday to be joined by the foreign-based players. The Tigers under coach Abdurrahman Mohammed are seeking for the Afro-Basket ticket during the qualifiers. President of Nigeria Basketball Federation, Musa Kida, who paid a goodwill visit to the Abuja camp of the Tigers, reminded the players that there is no difference between them and the foreign-based players. And while promising the team of the continued support and encouragement of the board of the NBBF, Kida challenged the boys to give the task ahead of them their best shots and make Nigeria proud. And that's it on the news at 4. But just before we go, always carry out adequate checks on your vehicles before setting out. You can follow us and like our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration upgraded 2 higher institutions to universities? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. In a bid to reinforce his administration's commitment to creating a well-structured and highly accessible road network in Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has handed over 3 new road projects to residents of the state in Itiosa local government area. The Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development has announced the establishment of a task team in every state to audit the ministry's properties and lands, as well as oversee the collection of ground rents on these assets. We also told you that Liberian President Joseph Boakai has suspended more than 450 top government officials, including ministers, for failing to declare their asset to the anti-corruption agency. And finally, in sport, Nigeria, the Tigers will leave for Libya on Sunday for the final phase preparation of the Afro Basket qualifiers slated to hold in Tripoli, Libya. For contacts with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Aderayo Idowolaya. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon and welcome to the return trip.